Hello, everyone. How are you doing? All right, I see. Oh, we got a new person, Grace. Hey, Grace. Hey, Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie. Um, hey, Jackie. Sortan. Hey, Sortan. Chris. Hey, Stan. All right. So welcome to today's Q&A. And today we're going to talk about making an offer. This is going to be the last Q&A and actually video for this year. So the next one is on January 1st next year. So since I'm not going to talk to you, I want to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And let's hope 2021 is a better one. So go ahead and ask your questions. I did get 2 questions by email. So while you're thinking, we'll start with those. The first question is, what does contingent mean, and how is that different from pending? So when people say a contingent, the offer is contingent, it means that the sale would happen if certain conditions would be removed. And those would be the usual ones are inspection, appraisal, buyer financing, and I have to, maybe I'm forgetting something, but those are the main ones. So all of the contingencies, for example, let's talk about inspection. When you make an offer, and if you watched the video from yesterday, I showed you that every the inspection needs to be done by a certain date, and by that date, if you as a buyer did not walk away from the contract, did not notify the seller that, hey, I want to renegotiate, I want something else. If you let that date pass by, that contingency is removed. And the same applies for buyer financing, the same applies for appraisal. When, let's say, the house appraises at certain amount, the sale price, then the appraisal contingency is removed. When the buyer gets financing, they get an approval, the financing contingency is removed as well. So that's and the difference between contingency and pending. All pending means is the property is under contract. That's all. So the next one is, and I'll move on to, I see a couple of questions. The next question is, I have found a house that has a good cash flow. However, based on comps from the neighborhood, this house is overpriced. It has only been on the market for 3 days. My agent couldn't find any information on the seller. I don't know if they have to move or not. The house is listed at 280,000, and I think 240,000 is the price based on comps. Is there anything I can do to make my offer more appealing? There are a couple of things you can do. If you think that the house, that the listed price is not reasonable, you can ask your agent, if you work with an agent, to do a CMA and submit that with the letter explaining why you're making the offer that you're making. When you present facts, and especially comparative market analysis, the seller will not respond as emotionally as they might if you just make an offer. It's like, take it or leave it. If you show why your offer makes sense, they're more likely, whether they'll accept it or not, it's a different thing, but they're more likely are going to consider it. The next thing you can do is put a deadline in your contract. And I showed you where that goes yesterday in yesterday's video, making an offer. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, go and watch it. Give them a short time to respond to your offer, but short but reasonable. Let's say 24 hours would be short but reasonable time. I mean, people have work and all that, so so that's another thing you can do to make your offer more acceptable. And the other thing is make yourself look good. And you can do that in the pre-approval letter. If you making a large down payment, for example, make sure they know that. In addition to the financing, do a proof of funds or something, or increase your deposit. That's probably the last thing I could do, but increase your earnest money deposit. Do everything you can to show the seller and the listing agent that you are serious, even though you're making a lower offer. That offer is justified and you're serious, and you're gonna close. So that answers the email questions, and I'm just gonna move to the other questions here. Do you count? Sortan is asking, do counter offers and negotiations have to be in writing? Actually, no. And I would say that will take forever. If you submit the initial offer in writing, do the rest of the negotiations verbally. And once you have a verbal agreement, you can change those things in the contract, and ask the seller to initial, and you also initial the contract, and that's all you need to do. Okay, so Jackie's saying, I just missed a great property. Is it worth making a backup offer? Jackie, absolutely. And actually, that's something that a lot of buyers, especially in this market, miss. Make a backup offer. If you saw that a property was listed at at very good price, and you liked it, always make a backup offer. I've actually had many properties that my buyers, the buyers that I worked with, they were able to buy them because we went in and made the backup offer. The seller, I don't know what percentage of all offers fall through. Maybe 20%. I don't know. I don't have a percentage on that, but in my experience, not a small percentage. So make sure if you have a backup offer, the seller, by the time the first offer actually falls through, the seller would be eager to close. It's very unlikely they would actually put the house back on the market and start marketing it. So you can take advantage of that. Okay, let me see. I don't want to miss something. Chris is asking, I found a property that's listed as a short sale. What is the lowest price that the bank will accept? Well, nowadays there are not a lot of short sales, but if you found one, make sure that the agent, this listing agent, knows what they're doing, because you don't want to waste your time. Short sales usually take between 90, could take up to 120 days to close. So ask the seller if ask the listing agent if the seller had filled out all the financial documents that they need to, if they qualify for the short sale. And I haven't done a short sale recently. So what I do remember is I know the Freddie Mac had ratio that they would accept, like it was 88%, 88 net of broker price opinion, which is the really estimated price. So every bank would be different, and this may have changed actually. So, but like a guideline, you can use that as a guideline, about 88% of net price. And Stan is asking, is it normal to make an offer after seeing it on video only? I don't see why not. If you don't know the area, though, I would use nowadays the technology offers us so many ways to evaluate the property. And you can always have an inspection as a contingency. So you can always walk away. But if you find something that you want to make an offer on and you can't see it in person, go ahead and do it. Just look at the crime in the area, truly a map, crime map, I'm sorry. And look at the Google overview just to make sure that there is nothing around it in that location that might be, that's something that you may not be aware of, like a railroad or something like that. So make sure you look at the location, check the crime, and then rely on the inspection. And you can always walk away from it if you have the offer contingent upon the inspection. Jackie's asking, when making an offer on a house, do you just automatically offer something lower than what was asked? Well, I would say no, because the listing price is just the listing agent or the seller opinion of what the house is worth. The house is worth what the buyers say it's worth. So that's the number you want to know. What is the house worth? If you're buying it as a rental, would you consider, would that work for you? Would it give you enough cash flow? If that's the case, make a full offer. So because in this market specifically, a lot of real estate agents would underprice the property slightly because they're looking for bidding wars, and they know that once people start bidding, they will actually get a higher price. So never look at the listing price as like that's what I have to offer. I cannot offer less, or I should offer automatically less. Look at what the property is worth. Would it work for you? If yes, make an offer. Okay. Oh, I did answer this question for Chris. Stan, I did answer this question as well, I think. Okay. Sortan is asking, is there a general percentage rule to go by for initial offer? The house has been on the market for a couple of months. So there is no general percentage to go by for initial offer. What you have to do, especially if the house has been on the market for a while, is look if during that time the price has been reduced by the seller, and by how much was it reduced. If you see larger reduction, the seller is motivated. Probably is the house empty? If the house is empty, then definitely you have a motivated seller. And if you see that the house, the price has not changed, and the seller still living in the house, you might not be, you might not have a motivated seller. It doesn't hurt to make an offer. You never know. So I guess that, I hope that answered the question. I don't know. Is it wrong to make an offer that's much lower than the asking price? Chris, I'm not sure if I answered this question, to be honest with you. I think I did. So, but just to say, just to make sure, no, it's not wrong to make an offer that's much lower, because the seller has different, sellers have different motivation. Even nowadays, when pretty much everything is selling at 98% of asking price, of list price, some sellers, they have to sell fast. And there are some properties that need work, and the seller cannot afford to do the work. So definitely it's worth making an offer. And if you feel that you should make a lower than asking price, definitely do so. And just to say something on this, if that was the case, if it was wrong to make an offer that's much lower than asking, then all the iBuyers that we see lately, like Open Door, like OfferPad, they would not be in business. But because their whole business is built on buying properties on their market and then reselling them. And believe it or not, this is 30% of the market. People just don't want to. People are busy. They don't mind selling the house at lower than asking price, because they have to move. Different motivations. So definitely give it a try, and they will say yes or no. All right. So I guess I don't see any other questions. Grace, since you're new here, welcome. And I hope to see you again in our little group. So guys, I don't see any other questions. And just wanted to wish you Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah. And see you next year, 2021. Okay.